It's a great day to be intrigued. Hi, welcome back to IBTCH Reacts, IBTCH. And in today's episode, we will be stopping by Sincerely Schmuriel, her channel. She has an update for us. But first, I saw this gentleman, and he has something to share with us. I hope your day is going great. Evening, afternoon, whatever time that you are tuning in. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I hope that you will stay. And let me go ahead and play this. This is um Mr. Reese. He is retired and he has something to share with us.
I'm 57 right now, and I've been retired for just over 2 years. Today, I want to talk directly to those who are in their mid 50s and still grinding away, thinking you've got another 10 or 15 years left in corporate world. I'm here to tell you that it's definitely not how you want to spend your time. After 2 years on the outside, I learned some major lessons, and we need to talk about the reality. Welcome back to Retired Life with Reese Will, everybody, and let's get right into it. Now, point one, your work your work friends aren't your real friends. A lot of you in your mid-50s stay because you think you love your work life. You tell yourself, I love the place, I enjoy the work, and mostly importantly, I love the people. But trust me, I've been there, but things they turn on a dime. A new manager comes in, stirs up the pot, pits people against each other, and suddenly the environment becomes cutthroat. Let me paint the reality for you. If you think that your work friends are your true friends, think again. When I hit 55, I could see the organizational changes coming, and I had a massive network of people I grabbed lunch with every day. We always talked about hanging, outside of work. But the day I left, my phone didn't blow up. No text came. It was completely quiet, almost eerily quiet. Nobody reached out. Nobody cared. Now, if you stand past 57 just to keep your social circle, you're grossly mistaken. You're much better off creating a new network of people outside of work who actually share your interests and they care about you. Now, point number two, ageism target. Let's be honest, when you're in your 50s at work, you're a moving target. Ageism is very real. A lot of these companies just assume we're too old to bring the same value as these younger workers. It reminds me of an older gentleman I used to work with for about 15 years. He drove an old cab over tractor and refused to handle everything else. Everybody joked about it, but it made me sad, man, because he did his job and hit every expectation. But the perception among all the management was that he was stuck in his, you know, in his old ways, and he was incapable. Now those cab over jokes, man, they were.
I'm sure somebody probably even said you can't teach a dog old dog new tricks.
The sign that it was time for him to move out, and he did. He left. Sure enough, he was gone, and he was on his way down the road. Past 55, many corporations just see us as dead wood. They'd rather bring in a cheaper, younger whippersnapper. Now, point three, the 66 health wall. The next piece of advice about your health, we all know we're dealing with, aches and pains and squeaks. It's just like driving an older car, it starts making weird noises, clinks, and rattles. That's our body. The World Health Organization did a study on healthy life expectancy, and they called it HALE, HALE, or something like that. In the United States, the average age where health takes a major hit is 61 years old. Think about it. The average person retires at 65, and just 1 year and 1 month later, they get hit with something life altering like cancer, a heart attack, a stroke, or a chronic diagnosis. Other independent studies, suggest that it starts to decline around 62 years old. Now, why on earth would you want to spend your final healthy years working for a company that runs you into the ground and gives you a 2% raise? By the time you get sick, it's too late. You can retire then, sure, but now your life is going to doctor's appointments 3 or 4 times a week. Our bodies go through bursts of accelerating aging, one in our mid 40s, and pretty much the next one is in our early 60s. You feel great today, but tomorrow isn't promised. Now, physiques and age always wins. Now, point number 4, build your passion project now. If you can make a living and have a few bucks in the bank and know you can make ends meet, trim down your budget, downsize, liquidate, move into a smaller condo to free up some cash and speed up your retirement timeline. But you need to focus heavily on your personal hobbies and interests before you exit. Find out what fascinates you, like photography, pickleball, classic, like classic cars. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on around us. Right across the street is a fire engine place. So, but start building that outside network now. When you retire, that daily office interaction vanishes overnight, man. So, figuring out who you who you're going to talk to is one of the hardest adjustments for retirees. And you don't want to end up just staring at the walls. Now, point number 5, start packing your bags literally. Like, you know, when I was 53, I saw the writing on the wall. I was the oldest guy in my department, and there were rumors of like a major corporate reorg. Nobody told me pretty much anything directly, but it felt like I could indicate that basically stuff was going on. Because I used to work at UPS, like if you guys watch my videos, you guys know. And I retired with 32 years, but as you see right now, UPS is cutting back. All these companies are cutting back. So, you know, I seen the writing on the wall, and a matter of fact, I had got sick, and that's one of the reasons that helped me retire. But like I said, make sure you transition and start figuring out who you're gonna hang out with and who you're gonna deal with, because your work buddies, your work friends, they quickly vanish. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this talk, but be sure to check out my next video. You know, and appreciate.
Okay, so that is Mr. Reese Will, Mr. Reese, and he was just giving us some advice for those who are about to retire, or one day, hopefully, you're gonna retire. Uh, hopefully, you can take some of that advice that he just gave. Now we are going to move on to Miss Shmuriel. This is the 5th episode um of her journey. We love good journey over here. And we're just gonna see what she has going on now.
Television news as a reporter. Then I moved to corporate communications. My entire career has been built around storytelling, media, and professional life. They look over your stuff and that I do. I got my resume has been going on because like it, and then we go on Monday. But we went today, like it, and then we go on Monday. But we went.
Okay, so basically it's Sunday and she has gone to the gym. So that's what she's basically sharing with us. But
today, and it was fine. 45 minutes on the elliptical, and yeah, that was a struggle at some points. But people sleep on the elliptical. Don't, because I say so. I was just checking in to say, hey, it's been a minute since I've checked in. Not much has been going on. We are past the 1 month mark in this layoff journey. Oh, so here's another thing we do on Sundays. In addition to the gym, we apply for jobs. So that's something that I do. I got my resume redid. I may or may not I've told you, if you have watched previous vlogs, that I'm working with a career coach. And so as a part of that whole program, I get a resume coach, totally different person. And then they look over your stuff and ask clarifying questions and tell you the ways in which you can make your resume better. And so we shall see if that this makeover of the resume gets me any bites. So again, well past the 1 month mark. It's to that point now where people don't check on you as much. You know, in the beginning it was, how's it doing? How's it going? And what are you doing? And da-da-da. You okay? And blah, blah. I got that a lot in the beginning. And I remember saying in a previous vlog, I was like, now I'm fine. Ask me later. I'm still fine. But I'm just saying the questions aren't really coming, which it is what it is. I got it in the beginning and now it's like, man, people have moved on. I am no longer the birthday. Did I use that right? I don't care. Moving on. Yeah, so I'm just gonna lock in, apply to some jobs, the ones that seem legit anyway. And I'm kind of sort of deciding that I'm gonna go on this networking. I mean, I've been on it, just a different, how am I trying to say this? Just this different networking challenge, if you will. I'm in this mentoring networking circle, and one of the speakers in the group has a 30-day networking challenge, and so I'm gonna try it, I think, or try aspects of it. I need to look at it more before I commit and just be like, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know yet. It sounds good. I am getting to the point, or I've arrived, but I'm very early in the process of chilling. Remember how it was like, oh, take some time to just be, take some time to just figure out what's what, and da-da-da. I am in that now, because in the beginning my first reaction was, oh no, you got to do something. You got to meet, coffee, meet, reach out, connect. And now I'm just kind of like, I'm still doing that, just not as intensely as I was. I actually have a lunch on Wednesday with a former colleague, so it'll be good to catch up with her and see what she has going on, and if she has any tips for your girl. I'm working on slowing down, and I do this thing where I write out my week, and I like to have at least one, if I can help it, 2 days a week where I don't have anything on my calendar other than the gym. And so for this week, tomorrow is a chill day for me, which it doesn't mean I don't do anything, but it means I don't have any commitment. So I still might send an email here or there, but there's nothing set in stone. I have a meeting with my career coach on Tuesday, so that's something to do, to show up for. I'm recording my final episode of the Beauty Beat. That's in my shorts, if you're interested into beauty and stuff like that. Working out at home, since I did the gym already. I got a lunch on Wednesday. That's also going to be my professional development day. I try to have 1 to 2 of those a week, and then gym on Thursday. I do have a story time, but I'm gonna save that for a little later in the vlog because I'm afraid I'm not gonna have too much else to talk about. So stay tuned for a story time.
Here we go.
Is to watch, attend, that type of thing. And what else was I gonna say to y'all? I don't remember, which is why I usually need to make sure I write this stuff down. Child, I done attended this meeting with my career coach. And
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. I've been there. I'm interested. I'm interested to see or hear how her experience was.
got a rejection during that meeting, child. Thank you for applying. We genuinely appreciate your interest. Unfortunately, we have filled this role and will not be reviewing additional applications. All right, so that happened. And I guess while we are talking about being rejected for jobs, it's time for my story time. I have my resume redone. This is pre-resume makeover. This resume has gotten me through a lot, and it was continuing to come through until the makeover. So I applied for a couple of jobs. One of the jobs I wasn't particularly interested in because of the salary. But despite that, I wanted to interview because A, you never know who you're going to meet. B, I needed to brush up on my interview skills. And C, you just never know. And I didn't want to just be like, nah, you know, I don't want to do that. So I say all that to say, interview for this role. And I made it. So I spoke to the recruiter, the person who would have been my manager, I believe, and then somebody higher up than that. When I got to the third person on the list, I experienced something that I never have in my career. I was told I was overqualified. She was like, and I'm paraphrasing here and using and just speaking real casually. She wasn't as casual with me as I'm about to be with y'all. So ultimately, she said that when she saw my resume, she wondered why I applied. She was like, where are you trying to go with your career? And so I told her, which isn't very high, by the way. It's not as high as it used to be. I'm in that, let me just make enough to, do what I got to do and keep it moving. I'm in that phase. So I say all that to say, she told me I was confused when I looked at your resume as to why you were applying, because the experience that you have in this role don't match. You're overqualified. Okay. I don't know what to say to that. Thank you? Question mark. So ultimately, she was like, yeah, we can keep you on file for other stuff, but I don't think this will be a good fit because of your experience and because of what you'd be doing compared to what you could do.
I've heard that before. I mean, what are you applying for this position for? You're way more qualified, like, it's like, if I'm way more qualified, then give it a job, and then I'll just move up the ranks. I mean, who tells a custodian that they're way more qualified in the position? Like, I don't. Just continue. Like, when it, yeah. Oh,
So there was that. But I will say I greatly appreciated her honesty and her just keeping it real, because she could have, you know,
Keeping it real, you still walked out without a job, and okay.
not been honest. What else? So that was that.
In some ways, I feel like it's just a way for them to try to flatter you without hiring you. I mean, when you apply for the position, do you not already know that you have more credentials than that position? But in the same aspect, that's not why you are applying for the job. You're applying for the job because you are able to work that position. You know that you're capable of it and you need a job, right? So why do I need you to tell me that I'm overqualified for the position? And then we leave thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, I really am overqualified for the position. But really, if I'm overqualified for the position, then couldn't I still be considered for the position? Like, okay, girl.
That job. And then the other job I was more interested in. Put a pin in that. When did we revert to pre-pandemic behaviors? Here's what I mean by that. Pandemic happens, everybody stay at home if you can. Oh, we're learning that people can do their jobs from home, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be this culture where you're in traffic for hours and doing this and that, etc. When did we decide that that was a thing? Because everybody's wanting people in the office, and I don't like that. I am an introvert, and I want to be in my house. I like quiet. As someone who has had to focus on a story I was writing under deadline in a noisy ass newsroom, I enjoy silence. It is quiet in my house now. The only sound you might be able to hear is my fan in the corner. I like quiet. The point I'm making is, when did we revert to pre-COVID stuff and people want people in the office? When did we lose our power? We being the people. Point is, interview for this role, thought the interview went really well. I just knew that I made it through 2 rounds. I just knew that they were going to invite me for an in-person interview, because it's me. And they did not. Boop. Nope. I can laugh now. But the point is,
This is why I like watching these, because without saying too, like the stuff that she's talking about, yeah, yeah, I've experienced a lot of this. Like, and I'm sure it's a lot of people that are experiencing it or will be experiencing it. Um, but the overqualified situation, that right there, like, yeah, it's relatable for sure. It's relatable.
that's how the past couple of weeks have been. 2 interviews, 1 rejection, 1 no. And I really
I kind of like that they're wanting you to come back into the office. Like, don't get me wrong. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Um, but yeah, let's continue.
wish for the jobs in which you are rejected that you could get a straight up honest reason, not that generic, oh, we chose to go a different direction, oh, whatever other stuff they tell you. Like, nah, I want to know for real, was it something I said? Was it an internal candidate and you just decided to waste my time? I just wish honesty was an option. So that's that's how things have been going. All in all, my spirits are, I mean, I'm fine. I'm chilling. I don't, what Omarion say, I don't feel no ways. At least not right now, I don't. Holler at me down the line. We'll see if I feel ways about it. So that's how things are going. I have another course to attend. There just so happened to be a course not long after I met with my career coach. I think it's at 1 o'clock. And it's 12:42. So I need to get my head straight and get my notebook ready for that meeting. Or it's not a meeting, it's a class. So that's how today is going.
We love the notebooks, don't we? You're applying for these jobs, the whole journey, you have to write down notes of what to do, what needs to be done, what they're saying, what you've done, how it went. Ugh. Let's see if I want to do this. B-roll is cool, but
Or, it was worth it to me, is my point. But yeah, this is pretty much, oh, let me put on some mascara. This is pretty much what the makeup looks like. It's just crazy how just the way my taste in makeup evolves with the years, because I used to do way more than this. And now I'm like, meh. Just enough to look awake.
mm, another day, another class. That was 24 for me. 23, 24. Mm,
I have my version
early.
of that. But I'm not spending 4 hours networking, or because they don't have a job, so they have time to just kind of do stuff. And it was like, get up early every day and do this, and go to the
Mm,
gym and do that.
let's take it back just a little bit, see what she.
They made me feel, obviously not their intention, but they made me. I am done with my course. I took a nap. I went to the gym, and here we are. So I just wanted to give a recap. I don't know, just check in following the course, and they made me feel, obviously not their intention, but they made me feel like I'm not doing enough in terms of networking. They showed an example of what one person's schedule might look like, because they don't have a job, so they have time to just kind of do stuff. And it was like, get up early every day and do this, and go to the gym and do that, and then work out, and then send emails, and then do this other thing. And I have my version.
First off, and I'm just going to intercept for just a moment. But first off, job searching is a full-time job in itself. Okay. Just searching for a job, like you getting up in the morning. It's just like a job. You get up in the morning, you're checking your emails to see if you need to respond. Text messages, because now they text you. It's not just emails. Sometimes you get text messages of people who, automated machines, or if somebody wants to, get you in the office or get you interviewed, you're getting text messages. So you're going back and forth with text messages. You're going back and forth with emails. And then on top of that, you have all of the other stuff. And of course, you need to eat right. You need to exercise. You need to keep yourself together, of course, because sometimes you can fall by the wayside because it's a mental thing. It's like, I'm applying to all these jobs, I'm doing all of these things, and then somebody's telling you, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. So it's like, okay, girl. you know, but yeah, um, in somebody else's eyes, it looks like you're not doing. But job searching is exhausting. It is exhausting. It is a job that you're doing like free of charge. Like you're doing all of these things, um, networking, which you're gonna do that anyway, but you should be doing it anyway. Networking, then you have all of these different events that you have to go to. You have to refresh, you have to get certified, um and build on top of the foundation that you already have. Just to even have your resume looked at, you have to get your resume refreshed over and over and over. And let's not forget about, it's not going to be like you have to have several. You can't just have one resume. You have to have several different resumes to send off. So you're updating all of those constantly, switching them out and interchanging them and all of the things. Like it is, it is a job. It is a serious task, to say the least. And then, you know, to get like people saying they've chosen someone else, or like she was saying, you're overqualified. I had somebody I went to get my resume done one time, and the lady was like, "Why don't you go work at Walmart?" Overqualified, ma'am. Overqualified. Like, and then the resume had nothing to do with none of that. Like, it's just to the point. And it's like, okay, I'm not gonna ramble. I'm not gonna ramble, but it's a job. It's a job. It's a task. It really is to um be out here searching for positions. And if you don't be careful enough, your confidence just, you know, mm-mm, mm-mm. If you're not careful, um, it could really do a number. It could really do a number. Um, Losing a job and the reason why you lose that position, can do a number on you. So to be out here and being laid off and then trying to apply for other positions, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, like distress. Okay,
Of that.
is that what they are? Distress.
But I'm
Mental
not
distress.
spending 4 hours networking or it's I don't want to make it so it would be like networking lunch, online networking, networking breakfast, online networking, social networking, da, 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 and big chunks of time blocked off
Social networking.
for networking. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I have my version of that. I did that yesterday. So I'm doing it my way and we'll see we'll see how that gets me. They did say, and I've mentioned a similar stat, that 50 to 75% of people get their jobs through networking, 30 to 40% through job boards, and whatever the remaining amount was recruiters. I want to say it was 10. I don't know. Point is,
It's definitely networking is where it's at. Networking is where it is at, for sure.
it's a journey.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna be quiet.
Networking and doing all those things, how you reach out to people during this time where you ain't got no job. You could be volunteering, and then that could kind of lead to something, or at least something to put on your LinkedIn in the interim. Asking your contacts for contacts. I've mentioned that in previous videos, like at the end of it, who else do you think I should be meeting with, that type of thing. kind of want to make that my focus for May. And here's why I say kind of. I'm an introvert. Peopling, yes, I use it as a verb. Peopling can be exhausting, and I just don't want to have to, but I know I'm gonna have to. I gotta get it together and get it done. So I want to focus on making a networking plan for the month of May. I kind of had one in March, but that was just kind of like panic networking. And I want this attempt to be a little more strategic. So it's a whole thing about who do I want to meet with? How do I want to meet with them? Is it in person? Is it virtual? And again, asking them who you should talk to, asking that person that you meet with who you should meet with, reaching out to them. Like, it's a whole thing. And just kind of putting yourself out there, working on your 30-second, your elevator pitch, your commercial. And this stuff I know how to do. I'm just selectively social and introvert and don't want to have to. But I'll get over it. So ultimately, I think it was a good course. I have a couple more to attend just on some side quest type stuff. Just trying to, again, figure out what I'm capable of beyond corporate. So we'll see how that goes. And it's just it's a journey. So yeah. But again, they were talking about
We love a good journey over here. We love a good journey.
blocking
I
off
don't want it
windows
to
of
be too much
time.
longer.
And I think I told y'all this. Sorry if it's repetitive. I have what I call my professional development CEO, whatever you want to call them, days. And mine typically tend to be officially Tuesday or Wednesday or both. But it's a Thursday and I'm doing, what am I doing? I'm doing some stuff now. So it's just when the mood strikes me. I don't know. They did advise not doing more than 6 hours of whatever it is you're doing in terms of, again, is it networking? Is it reaching out to people? Is it coffees? Is it lunches? Is it virtual? Are you going to, like if you're part of an organization, are you going to an event for them? They did advise not doing more than 6 hours a day of whatever form of networking you're doing, because she said that after 6 hours, basically you don't want to burn yourself out during this time of unemployment so that when you do get employed, you're not burnt out. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know that there's a quote.
Good, because I'm getting up in the morning. I'm checking emails, but I'm also applying for jobs. I'm going to bed applying for jobs, and that could take an hour or more. That could take an hour or more each. Yeah, but
Quote
okay.
right way to do any of this. It's going to be whatever it's going to be. And I guess you can be as involved or not in how your story turns out. So this is me being involved. What up? Another day, another workout, and we're back, or I'm about to get in the zone. Apply for some jobs. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but I am using some discernment when I apply for most of these jobs. I'm not just flinging my resume out to people who claim they're hiring. So I have a decent list, an okay list, and we'll see what's happening. And then I hate that I'm gonna have to use this acronym, but I'm going to work on assigning some SMART goals to my networking. that's been suggested as something that you should do, not just be like, oh, network more. It should be more specific. There should be a goal, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to take this time to also think about smart ways in which I can network. So that's what today is looking like. And who knows, maybe with this, with these SMART goals, I can kind of feel more intentional with my networking. Whereas I'm not gonna say it hasn't been intentional before, but I feel like it's been slightly chaotic. And I know that, or at least it was in the very beginning. And now it's starting to make sense. And so I want to continue on that making sense journey. So yeah, that's how things are going. I just wanted to check in and say, hey, I don't know what time. So remember how I was telling y'all earlier that I had 2 interviews a couple weeks, however long ago, and one of them I was told one thing and the other I was told another thing. If you pay attention, you already know. Point is, during one of the interviews, I was told that there would be another role that would be opening up. That role is now posted, and I'm kind of like, should I? Because I could have done both. But yeah, I'm gonna throw.
What would you do? Comment down below. Would you apply for that too? Because would you apply for it too? Or no?
Throw my head out there because you never know. And at this point, what do I have to lose other than a little bit of pride and time? I'm partially kidding. All right, but yeah, I just wanted to say, hey, update y'all a little bit. It's kind of the same old same for the most part. Applying for jobs, working out, taking classes, working on thinking about what branching out on my own looks like. And that's kind of what life has been. That's why the vlogs are kind of spaced out. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Oh yeah, I closed on my rings today. All right, well, I'll take that as my cue to stop rambling. I hope all is well with y'all. And I'll wrap it up. So have a good one. Bye.
Bye, Shmira. Bye, girl. Okay, yeah. So that just felt so long to me. So long, but I wanted to see, because sometimes, here we go. Hold on. So sometimes, I just watch these with you all. Like I haven't gone and reviewed it first and then come back. Like the gentleman before her, I did. But I went and I probably watched maybe about 10 minutes of hers before I jumped on. But um we're probably gonna have to start looking and then just doing like a lot of the other people do. This is just, you know, uh, instead of just coming on here um free willing it. What, I don't know what they call it. This doesn't work for me. This does not work for me. And it makes me uncomfortable. I would like to show up and keep showing up. But I would like to be prepared. So I'm gonna switch things around. This coming on, I want to watch this with you and all that, and we're gonna switch that up. So come back and thanks for watching. If you're still here, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying. And come back. Come back. Um, yeah. This is IBTCH Reacts and IBTCH. I'm not gonna leave yet. I have a few pointers that I just want to share. I think it's good that she is sharing this. I've said that several times on my shows and my content that I just love the fact that she is sharing this journey with us. We love a good journey over here. There are some things that she shares that are relatable, especially for those who are unemployed that are looking. So, and I don't mean to be over here. I'm not trying to do the trauma bonding thing or whatever. I just simply am trying to show people that it's relatable. They are not alone, and it's other people out here that are have been laid off that are going through the same things. And if there's something that they can share that somebody can get from it, like I say in my captions all the time, these are educational and for entertainment purposes only. So if there's someone who can get something from it, then that's the whole. That's what I come on here for. So yeah, um, sometimes we have a good show. Sometimes the show is not that great. But if somebody, just one person can leave with a aha moment or, feeling like, okay, that's relatable. I'm not alone, then boom, I've accomplished something. So again, I be CCH and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Let me get these.